question now, right? I just have, can you open up more about running in the way of Allah?
Running in the way of Allah.
Yeah, running a race in the way of Allah.
For you, it's simple. Just run behind me. That's all.
Can't keep up sometimes.
You don't need to keep up. We can't keep up. I can't keep up with Shaf. And you just stay in the main highway. That's it. You're not making any deviation. You held on to your promise. This is the thing. We have to remember our promise. How many times in the Quran Karim Allah is mentioning? I'm saying from just now, right? Now you become spray by Him also. I say, are you ready? Means turn it on. Now you turn it on? Okay, good, very good. What do you want, medal? You upset with me? Huh. I don't care. If you're upset, you're not upset. So where was I? What was my last word?
The promise.
Every day we must remember our promise. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mentioning so many times in Quran Karim, reminding mankind, reminding especially the Bani Israel of the promise. So, don't you remember how we favored you? Don't you remember the promise you made to me? Don't you remember this I did for you, this I did for you? If you remember by yourself, you don't need anyone to remind you. If you're counting that, alhamdulillah, shukr. Because by remembering the favors that have been done to you, immediately you fall into shukr. You cannot fall into anything else. Meaning, we were so dirty. We were top to bottom in dirtiness. And Allah is pulling us out through the hands of our Shaykh. How can we ever thank Him? How can we ever thank Him? We cannot thank Him enough, but at least we can remember. And keep that as a check when we become angry, stubborn, when we become ungrateful. Keep it as a check. Remember, He did this? Yes. So a lot of brakes. It's not only one pedal for brake now. For a believer, there has to be many, many pedals for brakes. So, but to use it, we must remember. If we don't remember, then you take it for granted. You feel that you've always been like this. Then after a while, things here is going to be very boring. Because gratitude gives you a sweetness. It gives you a sweetness. Maybe through just thinking, being grateful and thanking Allah gives you a sweetness that maybe whole night long you're worshipping, it doesn't come to your heart so sweet. When you remember and you recount, I did this and Allah saved me from this. I did this and He forgave me. Allah. I have no reason. There's no reason for Him to forgive me other than that He is the most forgiving. This will soften your heart, and this is one of the breaks that will stop you from turning to the other direction, making wrong decisions. Be with people who are grateful. Don't think that you are better. So I like people who have just come into Islam. I like people who have just come to Tariqat, because the gratitude that they have, maybe we have forgotten here and there because we're busy doing this, but you know, the man who just eats because the food is in front of him, he takes it for granted. Sometimes he can even not taste anything, not understand the value. Maybe even when he fasts, he's not going to understand the value so much, because the food is always there. You open the refrigerator, it's filled with food, no? But when you feed someone who is hungry, these days, especially over here, is very rare. We cannot. They put them everywhere, away from us. At least animals we have. Feed those who are hungry, feed those who are in need, and the taste that's from them comes to you too. You don't have to eat, but it comes to you too. And with that gratitude, with that thankfulness comes humbleness also. It comes nearness to Allah. It comes you realizing that you are a servant and how Allah has favored you so much. Then why are you behaving like this? Why are you being an idiot like this? Why are you being spoiled like this? Why are you being like this? Why are you being like that? That is reminding you. You don't need to read so many ayats, so many hadiths, so many books. Swallowing all these books, carrying them on your shoulder like a donkey. You don't. Because Holy Prophet ﷺ is saying the best kind of knowledge, it is the knowledge that you experience. Not the knowledge that you read, the knowledge that you experience. So, Shaykh Effendi is saying, be Jamaat. Because Prophet ﷺ is saying, be Jamaat. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, be Jamaat. You don't have to be righteous, salih, but be with the salihin. Allah is saying, giving order, be with the salihin. The man's religion is according to his friends. Friends meaning those who are close to him. That's your religion. Meaning according to the lifestyle of the people that are around you, that you love. That is what is going to be your lifestyle, your deen, your religion. Surround yourselves with people who are thankful. Don't look down on them. Learn from them. The man who has just found Islam, you cannot see more thankfulness in his eyes than that. Sickness spreading everywhere in Muslim countries, they start looking down on people who just come into Islam and they don't take care of them. One hand they don't take care of them, on the other hand just come into Islam and they think that these ones are already saints and scholars. There's no balance. Especially Muslim countries that are not white. Someone white becomes Muslim, oh, they have this colonial hang-up. They think this one must be very holy, very this, very that. So they start chasing. So both is unbalanced. Be with people who give shukr. Then you are going to be able to practice shukr easily. If you don't surround yourself with people who give shukr, very difficult. You don't know how to show it. If you are surrounding people who are ungrateful, who don't give shukr, who are spoiled, who are ungrateful, then you become like that too, very easily. You take on the color of whoever that is around you. You understand? So what you're saying now, how do you know if you're running in the way of Allah? You have a shaykh, fall back behind. Be in the Jamaat. You know what is for you. What is your job that you need to do. You know what is the obligations, spiritual and religious, that is for you. You know what is the obligation that you have in the Jamaat. Don't look for high positions. Don't look for titles, please. Don't look for people to say, oh, you are such a high one, you are such a this one. No. Don't look for that. Look to yourself. You must be awake and aware of yourself enough that you are not going to be bought. No one is going to fool you by praises, and no one is going to fool you by curses. You must know by yourself, how much have I done? What did I do for the sake of Allah today? That's why non-Muslims can never understand why Muslims fast. Because to them, religion, to them, especially to those ones, Christians, let's say, even to the Yahudis, it is such an obligation. It is such an obligation to them that either they force themselves to do it or they force themselves to kick it away. There is no middle ground, there is no sweetness, that it doesn't become an obligation. It becomes an expression of your love and your gratitude to Allah. So you see, we're fasting during Ramadan. Non-Muslims say, why are you fasting? Just break your fast. No one is going to see. Go away somewhere. No one is going to see, and eat and drink. Not understanding, we're not fasting for people. We're fasting for Allah's sake. And we realize the power and the light and the strength that comes to us from fasting. It's not for a show. And it is one of the most beloved actions in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He's saying nobody knows, Prophet ﷺ saying nobody knows what the reward for fasting is. Only Allah knows. So You consult, you are close as much as you can. Doesn't mean physically you're close to. You can be very far away physically. You keep up, you know, you understand. Then you see what is for you and you run for that. It can be small, can be big. It can be 1, can be 1,000. It doesn't matter. You understand? Then you're doing it for Allah's sake. Inshallah Rahman. Hold on tightly. The winds are blowing. People are asking me, what's going to happen? Winds are blowing. Everyone is going to fall off. And I said, Shaykh, he already said this. 20 years ago, 10 years ago, he said this. What's going to happen? We said, hold on tightly. The winds, the typhoons are going to come. That time, don't rely on yourself. If you rely on yourself, you are going to be weak. You know that you are strong. Rely on that one that is stronger than you, your guide. Saying, everyone is dropping off. So it's okay. You can go too. No problem. Did Shaykh any say this? You can also go? So all of you can leave. I'm not in need. So we repeat. You like it or you don't like it, it's up to you. But may we hold on tightly, inshallah, and not deviate. May Allah make us to become sincere with our intentions, to check our intentions every day, and to be honest with ourselves, and to try to fulfill that intention every day, even if it's a small step, inshallah. Fatiha.